Привет всем, кто попал на мой канал. Мы продолжаем проходить Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Давайте продолжать без лишних слов. Уже ближе к концу у нас все дело идет, так как мы уже сейчас пойдем за второго убивать из всей троицы. В прошлой серии так немало подохли. Но не привык я к этой фигне, где уклоняться надо. Ну, сейчас я думаю, все будет нормально.
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right. They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
Я надеюсь, здесь ничего не рухнет. Эй-эй. Не дано нам тут такого. Ух ты.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
Понятненько.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that bridge.
What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch
What
them.
the hell?
From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there. I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall.
Ты что ты можешь?
I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados.
Замедлила он, нет.
Outside, inside, anywhere I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
Даже ничего не делает, что ли?
You're lucky. You see that?
Нам сюда.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Засадили. А, так тут здесь можно.
Times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Вот так вот. Всё.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a hand.
You mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Зачем ты это сказала?
Who the hell is that? Damn you! Run! Take cover! Retreat! Retreat!
Просто там человек стоит. Че, ничего нету, что ли? Да ладно. Могу сюда что-нибудь запихать.
He's killing everybody! Now you're dead.
They'll kill us all!
You'll die for this! You hear me?
Да ёпта моё.
Cut you in two. Just like
Так,
this.
подойди. Все нашли. Довольно-таки неплохо. Ну куда?
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they?
What are you looking
Only a few stragglers were left, and I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail. Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Ну, не получается у меня с первого раза. Ну, сейчас сделаем. Ну, эти на самом деле полегче, чем здесь второй какой-то был. Тот просто высунул и убил. Даже поделать ничего не было. Ну, завалил я его тоже как-то. Хотел по-честному попробовать, но, видимо, невидимо. Ну, нормально.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
Ну вот и все.
They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Неплохо. Полторы минуты до ада. Интригующе. Сейчас опять нас не будут убивать.
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
That kid Curry's kind of crazy, ain't he?
Don't let him hear you saying that.
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado.
Интересно, они взорвутся? Нет, похоже, что нет.
Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down. Old Bob wasn't among them, and neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Что им надо?
And I found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific. The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports. Kid Curry was considered the wildest of the Wild Bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5. Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was gonna rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me. The bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards. A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Don't you blow us up now.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
Кто это сказал?
But the Wild Bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
I did not just...
Да ё-моё. Почему он сам берет и достает револьвер? Здесь все-таки не очень близкая дистанция, так. Не, ну как она близкая, но удобно. С этим гораздо проще. Добрый день.
Ready to meet your maker? You're gonna have to do better than that.
So, what happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn dynamite.
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
Вот. Чё что ли?
So that was all the dynamite?
Funny you should mention that, darling. As actually there was a fourth charge impeding my progress. Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
Gonna hurt. What the heck just
Идём.
So I proceeded onward
Потому что
and realized that that way just wasn't gonna work. I needed an alternate path forward.
Что-то, мне кажется, я пропускал там еще дофига. Так, назад. Как это? Да ну ладно, что, ну тут высота там.
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it.
Да ё-моё. Да не хочу я смотреть на них.
The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks.
Немного не заметил. Ну ладно. Давай.
I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally, at the last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge. Well, it was a touching reunion. But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass, as I was not a young man anymore.
Ну, клёво. Так. Что от нас еще хотят?
Kill that SOB! Make him bleed!
Send him to perdition!
Finally, I found those boys. Or more precisely, they found me.
Hell is that stuff? Disgracer! Kid Curry ass me!
That's bloodier than a damn fruitcake!
Да ну... Это вообще нормально, нет? А по сути-то у нас это то же самое дает, да? Или нет? Нет, наверное. Ладно. Ладно.
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in this tunnel and pretty well shielded.
Понятно все с тобой. Куда-нибудь.
Luckily, I had located some dynamite. I still, however, had my work cut out for me.
Все нашли. Плохо. Ну-ка, где он там? Получай. Да? Все? Вот. кстати, неплохая функция.
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down. And that's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
Очередная дуэль. Как ты выжил после такого? Да ну ё-моё. Ну хоть не один. Одному скучно.
As fast as he was, I was just a bit faster. And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him. Those were his last words.
Так. Ну, я думаю, неплохо получилось. Все опять нашли. Честно убили. Класс. Ну, я думаю, опять мы 2 главы прошли. На этом стоит закончить. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Пока.
South America.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kind of glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang. Did I neglect to mention that?
Jesse James? The greatest outlaw who ever lived?
Jesse and his kin rode with Quantrill when he raided Lawrence, Kansas, and killed near 200 people, boy.
Yeah, nothing great about that.
And from there, him and his brother went on to rob banks and trains from Kansas to Missouri.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their heads. 40 grand for both of them, dead or alive. That's one hell of a payday.